Welcome to what feels like week 57 of prepping for the holidays. Hello everyone, welcome to yet again another wonderful video where we are going through our holiday features. My name is Brendan, I am the co-owner of the Rustic Tub, small bath and body care company located in tiny Ontario. I think when 2025 hits, we're going to be working on a different kind of intro for that one because I feel like we're streaming that one along pretty good. No, for today, we're actually focusing around actually two items that we're going to be doing for today's video. And it's all based around, and this is a scent from Voyageur. It is Grandma's Kitchen. It's a fun little fragrance oil. It literally smells like Christmas cookies, Christmas spices, and Christmas happiness all wrapped in one. So today we're actually doing a double feature of a Grandma's Kitchen soap and a Grandma's Kitchen bath bomb. So I will say we've never actually done the soap portion of this before. We've only ever done one Christmas holiday soap, and it's that. We've already featured it. We wanted to come out with more this season. As for the bath bomb, we 3D printed a little gingerbread man, little cookie cutter bath bomb mold. We didn't use it last year. I ended up getting super frustrated with it. His little arms kept breaking off. So this year, we're going to be trying it in a different setting. Last year, we just made it a brown one with a nice little drizzle topping on top. I know we can do it this year for this one, and hopefully she's going to cooperate for today's video. Without further ado, we're going to jump right on into the bath bomb portion of it, and then we're going to jump into our soap portion right after. So I'm going to try to edit this video down as much as I can so we can fit the most in. So I'm going to come back with our measurements all mixed together and go over that shortly. Okay, for the most part, we have everything laid out, ready to go. So we have all of our dries. So that's our bentonite clay. It is our bioturge and a little bit of cream of tartar for hardness. We have our citric acid, our baking soda, and then the rest of our liquids, which is our shea butter, avocado oil, a little bit of polysorbate, and 99% just to hold everything together and just bind it all in. When it comes to color for this one, we actually use the Fizz Fairy Brown and Fizz Fairy Sweet Orange for the colors, just for the water-soluble dyes, just because we find that brown makes it too dark and we're looking for a gingerbread color. So I do about half of a quarter teaspoon of brown and then half of an orange, sometimes 3/4, sometimes 1/4, depending on the measurement, but I always make sure to add orange into the mix just to give that little gingerbread brightness to the cookie. And then once I feel that everything is all kind of scraped out of our little cup, I go ahead, leave this off to the side. I'm going to throw this onto our mixer, and then from there, you've seen me do it before, I'm going to add our dry ingredients, and then our wet ingredients, and then our citric acid. So I'm going to go ahead, do that off camera just to save us time. I will be back when this baby is mixed up, ready to go, ready for pressing. Okay, coming in hot with that one. It is still a little bit dark for my liking, but you know what? I'm still going to go with it. I'm very much okay with the mixture. I'm happy with how it turned out. It does look a lot lighter in person than what it does on camera, so maybe when it cures it will have a little bit more of a lightness to it. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start pressing. So normally when it comes to fun shapes like this, I will always take the bottom end of it. We like to have molds where the bottom is flat, and then that way we can peel off the bottom and then push it through to help bring it on out, help set it down. So we're going to go ahead, load it up a little bit, kind of find what our happy size is going to be for this, because as you can see, that's a fairly wide mold. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp out a first one, see if we like it, and continue from there. If there's one thing I learned about having molds like this, it's always make sure you fill in the crevices and press down on each little outgoing limb for the gingerbread. If it's for anything else, kind of same rule. Okay, moment of truth. We're going to go ahead, just kind of slide it down. Like I said, this mold is a tiny bit old. Ooh, panic! Okay, slide it up. And lift. Okay, we got our first gingerbread man. Now, let's pray to whatever Christmas grandma God is out there for the rest of them to come out nice and happy. Okay, almost done, and I'm suddenly reminded why, with flashbacks coming back to me, why I was never a fan of this mold. And it's literally because if you can see, our bath bomb does like to kind of clump up in all the little designs. And that's just something that normally happens. You can work around it. So sometimes our little gingerbread people will come out a little bit happy missing area, but we'll have fun painting with it for that one. Okay, so our little gingerbread people are all pressed out, ready to go, ready to cure. You can see that some of them are a little bit more happier than others. And like I said, it's just because the mold likes to hold on to a little bit of extra pieces. But we're going to do them up with a cute little paint job. So while we let them cure off to the side for their little time frame, 24 hours is what we normally do. We're going to go ahead and move right on into our soap portion of this video. And I will say our main ingredients for the soap are sticking with our standard recipe. So I believe it is a avocado butter, avocado oil, coconut oil, quoting off the top of my head, castor oil as well, and a couple other things I'll probably come back to me halfway through. It's weird when I don't see them all lined up here right away. But I'm going to get everything pre-measured out, ready to go. So once I line that up, if I've forgotten anything else, I will give a nice little shout out before we start adding it all together and mixing it in. Okay, so I ended up having to step out for a couple hours, so everything was sitting fine, and truth be told, confession time, I can't remember where I left off with. I'm sure I'll figure it out in editing to see. And I know I did mention that I was going to get everything for the soap ready and mention anything if I did forget. I didn't forget anything. I had everything right off the top, but I will say I was a little short on our avocado butter, so I did swap it out with a little bit of cocoa butter just to help fill it. So the soap bar will be a little bit harder as well, which great. That's what we need. That could be good. And then to get us going into the next step, I am fast streaming everything like I said. I have all my oils and my butters melted down in this one, my lye water in this one, and the plan of attack is obviously I'm going to add this, do the mix up, and I'm going to separate it so we do have a little bit of our batter into this jug. And this is just so this is going to be our white bit of it because I want it to look like a little gingerbread house kind of theme. So I'm going to throw the white in there. I'm not going to add fragrance to this one just because I know with the Grandma's Kitchen fragrance that is heavy in vanilla. So I want this part to remain the white part on top. And then I got a couple mica powders off to the side for a nice little sprinkle dazzle afterwards on it. And then more importantly, I do have our brown mica powder, obviously from Fizz Fairy, that we're going to be throwing into the main mix. It will turn more brown as it cures. Perfect, that's what we want. And then we have our titanium dioxide to turn our neutral color into a brighter white. So the plan of attack is to pour the brown, do a nice little swirl. I don't know how fast this is going to set up, and then add the white on top of it, and then do a sprinkle. So we'll switch up the camera angle to see, and we will see if we can accomplish that. Okay, so I realized I could have just used that secondary bucket the whole time. So without further ado, we have our white batter and we have our chocolate brown batter ready to go. Next thing we do, I'm going to be throwing in fragrance into this baby and this baby alone, because once again, we want this to remain white the whole time. I'm kind of going to go into almost like a little panic state for this because I've never worked with this fragrance before for a soap, just bath bombs. So I have no idea if it's going to set up within 5 seconds or if I'm actually going to get a good working time with it. Normally, if I was working with one like our bergamot fir that we have, it would be destroyed and this would have already have seized up. So far, we have something to work with. Since it is a 2-color soap, I'm not focusing too much on how I'm going to do the pour, so long as everything goes in. Do a nice little scrape out. Okay, now I won't lie, I was hoping for it to set up pretty fast so I could do some fun designs. down here. I don't know why I'm still continuing to try to do this like I am doing something. So instead, I'm going to spray this with a coating of 99, just so we have a surface to pour onto, because if it's going to be this kind of creamy to go through in a liquid state, I want it to be as separate as possible. Okay, so I'm just making the layer on the top for me, just a little solidify. And then coming through with this one here, the white color. I always go into a weird state of mind when I pour anything. It's like a super concentration mode. And half the time I don't talk or I look really, really funny on camera. Slowly trying to get over that over time. I know it'll happen with time. As of right now, it's just funny for me to rewatch and editing videos being like, oh, wow. Instead of I sound like that, it's, oh, I look like that. Okay, for this top portion of the soap, I'm not going to do any swoops or anything for it. Instead, I am going to leave it as a flat base. I was just planning for a very quick setup. This fragrance oil actually reacts very, very well with a nice cure time. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on my layer of the mica powders that I said earlier. And then we will be using our wonderful little chopstick just to do some swirl action on top in hopes that we get it to look gorgeous. Okay, I've never done this before, so let's see how we do. Oh, I don't even have to hit the hand, that's fine. A sprinkle on top. Okay, go over with some red. Ooh, hit the camera while I'm at it. And then let's just make some random S's for Santa. And I'm going to tell you right now, I truly have no plan with how this is going. I am just going with what feels right. S for Santa, let's do a G for gingerbread, but we'll do like a nice cursive G, right? I don't know if I'm doing that right for the cursive G, but that does look right. I won't go too much farther than that. I kind of like the swirls on top, how they are looking right now. So I'm going to go ahead, leave this. I'm going to let this cure a little bit, do the wrap up, and then I will see you tomorrow for our unveiling and our cut. All right, welcome to 24 hours later. I'm totally kidding. It has not been 24 hours, but our bar of soap is hardened up, and I'm just way too excited to not cut it at the appropriate time. It's hard enough to cut, so we're going to do that. To kickstart off this second day of going into everything, we are going to start by cutting this. I'm just way too excited. I'm happy with how the swirls on the top turned out. I know the soap on the inside is going to be a fairly basic one, but the faster I get it cut, the faster it cures into pieces, and then the faster I can feel good about stamping it later and move on from there to hit the shelves faster. After that, we're going to move right on into painting our little gingerbread cookie bath bomb people. So we're just going to go ahead, switch up the camera angle to show us our nice little cuts. Then we're going to switch it up so we can do our painting and get excited about this video to a nice little wrap out from there if we're feeling pretty good about it. So without further ado, we'll switch it up off to the side, watch the cut, watch the paint. Final remarks, out we go. All right, so I will say, in full disclosure mode to everyone, that in the background you can probably see a lot of chaos happening. This is just how I normally work and normally work out of events. And because we're launching our Christmas line, it is a lot of chaotic making happening right now. So with this baby being cut, you can see that it is a very basic design. Brown on the inside, white on top as I almost drop it. But the little piece de resistance is our nice little markings on top. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to finish out the rest of the cut of these, and then we're going to do a nice pan over when it is all done so you can see how they all look. All right, and there we have it with our little gingerbread soap. Now, like I said, the main forefront of the soap, it's a very basic one, brown and then white. So what I'm really happy about is the fact that the top of this looks like a beautiful little candy cane forest kind of swirl happening. This really is like the magical moment for me is the top of these soaps. So I'm happy with how these turned out. I'm going to go ahead, let them sit out for a couple hours or a couple days before I properly stamp them. And we're going to be moving on to our painting of our little gingerbread people. Okay, so some of our little gingerbread men did come out a little bit on the crummier side. So I'm just going ahead, brushing off any little thing that I can, any little excess so it doesn't stick on while I paint. Some of them have a little bit of cracks on them, like this guy has a little crack up on the side. I think it's totally fun because it's very cookie-like. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to start painting, start with the eyes, go from there. And I think I have a color combination in mind. I mean, it's classic ones. We can't go wrong. So without further ado, we're going to jump into it. Obviously, for the eyes, I'm just going in with our eyedropper of black mica powder just to add a little bit of life into them. Because I feel like if I would have painted their eyes green or red, we would have been on a very demonic side of things. All right, coming in for the color green, we're just going to alternate it here. So this one will have a green bow tie. This one will do green buttons. And then I'll be going over with the red just to kind of make sure that the rest of them are filled in. Nothing like me halfway through working realizing that I forgot to paint almost half of the things. It's happened before. And needless to say, it's not a fun item. Okay, coming in with our red, I just had to mix it up as a nice little fresh batch. Wasn't sure how the color was gonna turn out on them, but the color looks good to me so far. I'll just finish out with the buttons and bow ties of our little gingerbread people. All right, last but not least, we are going in with our white, and I'm just going in with a brush just because if I try to drop this in, I feel like it will go everywhere. And this one will most likely be a little bit time consuming, so I'm just gonna do a test paint on one. See how we like how it's going, and then we will come back with the finished results. So this one, I just know if I get into a deep zone of painting and trying to stay in the lines, it's going to go real quiet, real awkward, real fast. So we're going to see how the rest of them turn out. Okay, with that, they are done. I'm going to go ahead and let these dry out for a bit before adding any other second layers or anything else to it. I do know that for some of their smiles, I'm pointing at this guy right here. It's a little bit faded, a little bit of line work and love needs to happen. I'm going to let it cure for a couple minutes, and then I will come back and probably do a second coating of white on them. But with those out of the way, curing to dry for now, I'll come back to that later. That is the end of this week's video of our double feature of our Grandma's Kitchen soap and our Grandma's Kitchen bath bombs, which we are going to call our holiday memories or Christmas memories. Haven't decided, but needless to say, the inspiration of gingerbread is definitely in there with the scent. As always, we will have our recipe for these up on our Patreon. It might come a couple days later, might come a couple days sooner, all depending on how the person who does the scheduling does it. And finally, if you like what you see in today's video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. The views honestly mean everything for me. Everyone coming to show support is just so much. Like it makes me all giddy inside at the end of the day. And then finally, when it comes to testing, we're going to throw probably our skinny little gingerbread guy into a little vat of water for one of our YouTube short videos. So you can go ahead, check out the tester round for that one when we throw that one in. And I believe, don't quote me on it, there could be a pop-up at the end of this. I actually think that is the end of this week's video. So until next time, thank you so much. Thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. Eventually, I will learn how to edit your names on the screen so I can give you the proper shout out. But until then, still learning here, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.